Hello everyone. Today we're going to fly the BF-108 Typhoon. It was built in, I think, 1933 early, but it was first flight was 1934 and introduced in 1935. So it was an all metal frame plane, which is kind of amazing being built that early. And the other thing that amazes me is the folding wings. I'm showing the 7 different versions that come with the package, and they're all pretty nice little paint schemes. And I like the British versions, actually. They almost look like a Spitfire. It was kind of funny, though, because the RAF used this plane, and it was kind of mistaken sometimes as a Messerschmitt 109 because of its profile. So the spotters on the ground would get a little nervous. I'm sure the pilots were a little nervous. Anyway, you can see there the folding wings, and it's almost like you could put this thing on a trailer and just haul it to the airport. And then when you watch how the wings fold out, it's pretty amazing, actually. But I've flown the plane a couple times, and it's a little jittery. I think there's some things to work out on it. It might be me, I don't know, but there are a few things that I don't like about it, but there's an awful lot of things I do like about it. The EFB that comes with the plane, it's in the glove box. You'll see here in a second. You hit the switch on the glove box and it opens up the EFB. And the EFB has multiple things you can do. It's got a maintenance program on there to show you what the condition of your airplane is in and the engine. You can make repairs when it's on the ground. It gives you some other information. It gives you some switches for changing the cockpit steam instruments. You can go to Imperial or you can go to a German. So that's nice, but you do have to switch it out. I think it defaults on the German gauges. So when you get ready to fire up, that's one of the things you want to do is to switch it over to U.S. standards. There goes the wings, and kind of amazing how that works. Almost kind of makes you nervous to think that those things could fold back like that. So I'm sure that the locking pins probably a pretty good task on trying to get those wings out. But again, back to the cockpit, it's got a lot of good stuff on it. It's got some unique things on it. The handle right there you're looking at is the prop control. And normally you would spin that around and around and around to get small increments of the prop in pitch or not in pitch. But in the simulator, you just take it and you move it, I don't know, about a quarter way around, and that'll bring your propeller back. Startup procedure here is pretty simple. A couple of switches, you prime it, you hit the starter, but you also got to remember to turn the fuel on, which I didn't do. And it's got a good sound. I like the sound on it. And windows open, of course, it's pretty loud. But once you shut the windows, the sound is really pretty good. does take a little time to get the oil pressure up, or temperature. Once you get that up, it's a go. Taxiing, oh my gosh, you have to be really careful with these narrow wheels. It's like an ME-109 or like a Spitfire. Very sensitive on the ground. Kind of wiggle waggling around. It's pretty wobbly, so you have to be careful with it. There goes the windows being shut. You can hear the noise gets reduced pretty good here. You're going to reach way back there like those windows. But anyway, that's a pretty good sound. Takeoff is pretty standard for a tail wheel. You got to hold on to her. She torques pretty good to one side. And then, of course, on landing, it's the same thing. You've got to get her lined up and get those wheels planted, both of them at the same time. Because if you don't, you're going for a ride. The other thing you'll notice if you listen on climb out, you'll hear some backfires, which was pretty interesting to me because I was like, why is this thing backfiring? Then when I got back, I looked at my spark plugs on the maintenance sheet and they needed repairing, I guess you could say. But you'll hear the backfire thump here in a second. There she goes. It's an interesting sound, especially if you got headphones on. This plane books. You push the nose down on this thing and it accelerates very fast. But on the opposite side of that, you pull the nose up and she bleeds off airspeed real quick. So it's a little twitchy getting things trimmed out. One thing you do have on here is there is an autopilot. There's a wing leveler, altitude hold, netting hold. I've been having problems with that. It doesn't seem to work all the time. And other times I get it on and then it kind of locks in place and I'm fighting the airplane to get it out of the autopilot mode. So again, that might be something in my simulator. I do know that for this particular plane, you're going to have to make some adjustments on your flight control, your stick, and kind of make it a little bit less sensitive. It's pretty sensitive. But again, pitch down, man, the speed comes up quick, and just pull the nose up and she'll bleed it off pretty quick, pretty fast. Flaps work really well. When you pull off all the flap end, you get the barn doors down, it really does slow the plane down nice. You can fly this plane all day long at about 56 miles an hour. I mean, that's pretty slow for such a size of plane that it is. The other thing is that it does float, and I was kind of surprised at that it floats the way it does. So doing a Spitfire approach to a runway is probably not too feasible unless you got a really long runway. Other than that, if it's a short runway, you have to go extend your final to get the plane kind of settled in. I love the clock at the center top. It looks like the clock in my kitchen. It's kind of funny looking. Big old clock. I'm trying to get the wing leveler to disengage. And a lot of times, some of the other planes that I've had, you can, if you take control of the plane and yank it left and right, it usually disengages. It wasn't doing it on this one. I was really having to fight it. I finally got it to break loose. But and again, the same thing with the autopilot. You really don't know whether it's on or whether it's off. Lots of visibility all the way around, really, left, right, up. This plane also comes with shades on the roof. You can put, here we're going to do a little roll. It doesn't roll pretty good, and it doesn't lose much altitude. You have to have a little bit of airspeed there. But yeah, it has awnings that you can put on the top by a switch, and they have different colors. I guess it depends on what your paint scheme is you're using. We're lining up here, and I did a fairly long approach again to try to get her to slow down, and really was trying to concentrate hard on planting both of the main wheels down at the same time and do a nice wheel landing. Here she's floating. And I got a nice touchdown. I was actually pretty impressed. And then I lost it once she was starting to bring the tail down. I kind of got a little off center. All in all, I really do like this plane. I like the looks of it. Again, it's vintage, it's old. Yeah, I like it. It was a good buy too. This plane's not expensive at all. I think it's a little over $12. It's kind of funny trying to figure out how to get the doors up, and I finally figured it out. Of course, you can look on Wikipedia and find out all you need to know about the BF-108. Plenty of information on it. See, I was trying to get it unlatched there, and then I remembered that there was an emergency latch system up on the forward glass, right up there. So you pull that back, and it unlocks the glass doors, and they swing forward. Pretty cool. Then you got to reach way back behind the pilot seat. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. It was kind of short, but there's quite a few videos out there of this plane, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. I really like it. I think you will too. Talk to you all later.